Anton's.
Of course. Oh, we're live?
Yeah.
There we go.
I joked like that.
Anton's here.
It's working.
Good morning. Yeah, Anton. Good morning where you're at. It's always fun hanging out with Anton.
Shift fucking.
Yeah, the hydraulics don't work anymore, so we went pressure washer extension. So, but I made sure to put towels in so it doesn't screw up anything.
Hey, Mark.
So, Mark. So we're kind of letting people filter in right now, but Kai, show him his car. So this, we did a collaborative video with this company called Runnin' for Tacos here, just across the highway from us, and really cool guys over there. They like mainly only work on Toyota as far as like aftermarket tent toppers, suspension, wheels and tires. Just like a nice group over there. And one of the guys over there, once we got done filming, he approached me and he was like, hey, do you guys do detailing? And I was like, I could do something for you. So he has this, I'm not exactly sure the year. I think it's probably like a 98, but Toyota Celsior. And I wasn't familiar with this until I came over here, but I guess this is like your top line luxury vehicle back in these days. And it's sort of like what Lexus is before Lexus existed in Japan. And so right-hand drive, really cool. It's on air suspension, so it can air down. I've been leaving it up just because I've been working on it. But just doing like a quick one-step polish on it. This side, I'm pretty much done polishing. So the clarity of the paint like really came back. So I'm really pumped for it. So last things I need to do on it, I just need to, I've been mainly doing it outside because we're prepping for our tent sale. That's why you see all these pallets out here. So mainly been detailing outside. So every time I get to it, I have to like wipe it down with waterless wash or detail spray and then like go back to it. So probably this evening, tonight, I will wipe it down with detail spray, and then I'll surface prep it, spray coat it, using the graphene spray coating advanced, and then he's gonna pick it up in the morning. So there's a couple other things I need to address, just like some browning on the tires to get that back to black. So before I dress it, once the dressing goes on, it looks great. So just like a quick job, you know, I took delivery of it on Sunday and I've been working like maybe 1 or 2 hours like in the evening and maybe an hour in the morning before I have to like actually work. It's been like a really fun project. I like cars like this because it has so much paint on it. So running the 15 millimeter on it just makes the polishing job nice and easy, and it's responding really well. So I'm really happy with how it's coming out. So anyways, for the live today, you know, he has a little bit of a electrical, like there's a part where it's kind of, the power's leaking out. So I've been having to put this on the trickle charger, and when I first did, I opened the hood, and I was like, "Oh my gosh! Like this thing has never been cleaned, I imagine." So I was like, "This is perfect for the live." And the guy said I could do something with it for ounce polishes. So I was like, "We're gonna clean this engine because just like a great opportunity." I did get some requests from the last video to do some more interior type of videos, so we'll end up getting to that maybe even like next week, some more interior focused, and I think like with the people that are on here, we're going to do an interior video next week. I'm just curious what type of interior video you would want. Do you guys want like a leather care type of video where it's like cleaning and conditioning, maybe even rejuvenation oil, or would you want more on the cloth interior side, so using like the carpet extractor and really like getting a carpeted interior dialed in, or do you want like the quick detail, like how to do a really fast interior job? Or we could even, I think there's some people here with Teslas that may even have like the white Tesla interior that we could clean. So just put in the comments here kind of what you're looking for. And again, not to say today's the day, but Kai made a comment, not last live, but the live before, that if we hit 300 live streamers, we'll do a giveaway. So if you guys are looking for a giveaway, then hit the share button and send this link to all your friends and family, and let's get 300 streamers on here so we can give away. I kind of want to give away something big. So whether that's like a pressure washer or polisher kit, something cool like that. So make sure to spread the word. So, all right. So cleaning engine bays. I think is like fairly simple. So I'm not in the process of cleaning this because I already did it on Sunday, but essentially when you get to this process is you've cleaned each wheel individually, and then you have your bucket that has all your wheel cleaning tools in it. That right after you're done cleaning the wheels is then when you clean the engine. So part of the reason for that is we can still avoid putting water on the whole car. So I can really direct my spray and try to avoid getting water on the paint and everything. So then once I clean the engine, then I can be done with it. And then I can move on to actually washing the car. So it kind of goes like cleaning your wheels and tires first, each one individually, then clean your engine. And if you need to do your exhaust tips, then you do your exhaust tips, and then close the hood and then clean the rest of the car. And then once, when you're doing it in the full washing process, then you can like bring it inside and dry the car and everything. And then once the engine's dry, then you get into dressing it. But I'm not doing the whole washing process. So what I'll do is I'll use our mini air cannon, the handheld one, and we'll blow all the water out of it, and then we'll dress it after. And when we get to that point, start thinking about this now. Would you like me to show you the traditional way of dressing the engine, which is a mixture of in and out spray and VRT, or would you want me to actually use the spray coating to not only dress the engine but protect it as well? So put in the comments what you would rather see, what you'd rather learn about, as far as once we get it cleaned, it's going to look nice, but then we want to give the richness back to it, make it look brand new again. So put the comments in. Do you want to see the spray coating on the engine bay, or do you want to see the OG Adam way of dressing it, which is VRT and in and out spray? So I'll put that in the comments. So
Hey, real quick, can you clarify? Jose, you said you won it. So you're the one who won the hex lights. Oh, cool.
oh, that's cool.
He's in here.
Okay. Hopefully you got them.
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, Jose, the thing too, if you got them and you've installed them, well, first off, if you're local, I'll help you install them. But if you're not, then I want to see pictures of it. You can just email me pictures at joe@adamspolishers.com. I'm always curious to see stuff like that because, that's one of those things, like the aesthetic of your garage is going to look way different and really cool. So I'm just curious what it looks like. So, okay, so
I think something to know too is I've only seen us do videos on newer engines.
yeah. So that's a good point, Kai. So I think I'm almost positive this is a 1998, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm sure if I knew how to read VIN numbers, I'd know exactly what year. Yeah, I think it's a 98 because it says J98, which I think generally the J, I can't remember the J code, but then usually the numbers after signify like what year it was made. So it's probably a 98. And yeah, so when you're getting into like older engines, I think getting into 98, you're closer to the turn of the century, Y2K. And with this, like I already kind of looked at it, but it doesn't have too much of exposed wiring. Like you have sort of like an electrical thing here with traction control. My biggest concern would be like here where the battery connects. But oftentimes when you get even later, like mid 90s, early 90s, 80s, when they first introduced electrical computer systems to cars, they didn't really do a great job of covering the wiring, and especially like there weren't really a lot of waterproof connections. So in that case, if I saw exposed wiring, like this is kind of a good example where you can really see where like these wires are connecting. They're not covered. And so with this, I just need to be careful. If anything, I would need to cover that. I'm not going to, because I'm just gonna briefly do it. And I'm also using a pressure washer, which is the best thing to use for cleaning an engine because it uses less water. So like when I go over this part, I'll just like go over it quick. And most rest of everything is pretty good to go. So I'm not too worried about it. So
if you want, you could do a plastic bag.
Plastic bag, yeah, you can put it over. Tin foil is a good thing, maybe not on electrical. Also, like his air filter is right here. So his air is coming from underneath the car into the filter and then into the engine. A lot of cars have exposed air filters. If you have that, make sure to cover that as well before you start blasting water onto it. So exposed air filter, you could either take like tinfoil. Tinfoil is easy because you can really shape it around something. And essentially what you want to do, you don't need to cover its entirety, but you need to cover it to the point where, like, if water gets on it, it falls off and doesn't go into the actual either electrical or exposed air filter. So
and this is like a best practice. It's like we've watched you obviously drive in the rain, and like this stuff can get wet.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But it's just.
But one thing
I want to be safe.
Yeah, one thing I highly recommend: don't use just like your standard garden hose with a nozzle. Like you're just gonna flood. You're gonna flood water everywhere, and that will. Once you put excess water in here, it gives it. There's so much water that it can go into places you have no idea where it's going. So
like driving through a puddle.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
So
a pond.
Yep. So with cleaning engine bays, highly recommended that you use a pressure washer. And like even to the point, if you don't have a pressure washer at home and you want to clean your engine bay, go to the Pay and Spray car wash, put your money in, and use that pressure washer. You know, so everybody in the world has access to a pressure washer. It just may not be at your home or somebody else's house, but you can absolutely go to like put the quarters in or swipe your credit card, and now you have access to a pressure washer. So, okay, so I'll get into cleaning this. I have the pressure washer. I just want to, I think I have a little bit of a bucket of water here. Also, the other thing I want to mention, you can kind of see it behind me, but there's a ton of pallets out here with just like random stuff on it. We are preparing for our tent sale this weekend. And at Adams Polishes, I think it's probably what, Kai, like 4 years now, 5 years now? We've been doing this thing called a tent sale, which essentially it's like a garage sale. So like any products that have been returned, any products that have been damaged in transit, anything we get damaged coming to us, we test everything to make sure it works. So like pressure washers, polishers, everything. And if it works and it's like in good working order, maybe there's a blemish here or there, we put it in separate inventory like this, and then we do a tent sale. We do an annual one in person here in Colorado, also one online. So this one that we're prepping for is the one that's in person here in Colorado. And if you're local and you're gonna come to it, I mean, you can get products for like, I mean, I swear it's like 60 to 70% off type of thing. Don't quote me on that, but it's probably like 50, 60, 70%. Whereas normally our biggest discounts are like 30%. So you can really like, especially if you're a enthusiast at home, you can get air cannons, detailing seats, pressure washers, polishers. There's all kinds of stuff, big ticket items that you can really get for low cost. But also if you're a professional detailer and you need those type of tools, this is a great opportunity to get that. And so
gallons, good.
Gallons, yeah, a lot of that stuff, limited editions, things like that. But what I would say is if you are going to come to it, get here early, because last time, so there used to be a Village Inn at the at the end of like our street. Now it's a new 7-Eleven. The line makes it all the way down there. It's got to be, you know, probably 200 to 300 yards long of a line. So you're looking at 45 minutes to an hour worth of a wait. So the earlier you get here, I know last year there were people here at like 5 a.m. So, you know, you get in line and then you get to like walk through each aisle and just handpick. We have carts ready. Put your stuff on the carts, go check out, and then go on your way. So if you're local, I highly recommend it. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not 1,000% sure, but Smiley's Barbecue, I think it's called like Red Rooster Barbecue or Rooster Barbecue. He's going to be here. So he'll probably be parked right here, and he'll be providing food, which may either be for purchase or not. I'm not sure, but his barbecue is worth coming just to get that. You don't even have to get detailing stuff. His barbecue is amazing. So just a couple things I wanted to talk about first. Also, the other thing too, I think we have our Cinco de Mayo sale going on right now. So yeah, some mystery buckets and stuff like that. So make sure to check that out.
Yeah, we did brush over it real quick. Don't put tinfoil on your battery.
Yeah.
Use plastic bag and then tinfoil other places.
Yeah, you don't want to put metal where electrical stuff is. So, okay, so I have the pressure washer, and I actually have the 25-degree tip. And
Is that green?
yeah, it's green. So the thing about pressure washers is the smaller the fan, generally the less water comes out of it and the more pressure you get. So with the 25-degree, I can really like focus where I want to use the sprayer, but also I can get super close if I need to blast something, or I can pull back away to give it more of a miss. So I'm going to start on this driver's side because it's a right-hand drive, because I don't want to just go straight blasting the battery area. And so I can really like focus what I'm doing. Then by the time I get over there, I'll just pull it back a little bit so I'm not directly blasting water there. And so trying to be thoughtful in my spray. I know it might seem like something that's like very simple, but controlling how you're using your pressure washer can be more effective, more safe, things like that. So go into black. So right now I'm just trying to get as much loose dirt grime off that I can. So. So I'm kind of avoiding this electrical box. When you get to something like that, so I'll be blasting this, I'll raise the pressure washer up a little bit more. And then instead of spending a lot of time on it, I'll just kind of go over it really quick like that. So avoiding the battery right now. So then on the battery, I'll just quick swipes over it like that. Now I can notice that up in here, he has a ton of like leaves and stuff. So I don't know if you can show, there's some leaves probably parked outside in the fall. And I want to get as much of this out that I can. The thing about leaves is once water gets in there, it kind of turns to sludge, which holds the water. And then it just sits there and can screw things up. So just want to get as much as I can out. I mean, I'm not necessarily like, I can only be as effective as I can. So probably what I'll do now is take the pressure washer and I will kind of aim it down to here. Like that, and just try to get as much of that out as possible. So much for detailing the car, huh? Just get it wet again.
Yeah.
Okay, so got it nice and sprayed down. I have my tire and rubber cleaner. I think this is probably the best product for cleaning engines. The surfactant here really turns the black plastic and rubber much darker. So
is that hood liner?
Hood liner. Oh yeah. I mean, it's actually not. It's not that bad. So it is a little dirty. So what you can do is,
Kind of a different.
with this, I'm going to turn my pressure washer tip so it's flat like this. And really what I'm going to try to do is push some of the dirt and grime off. And when we did the engine cleaning video with Adam from the VIP brand experience, he was saying that like if this is really like junky and like deteriorating, just look it up online and replace it. They're usually pretty cheap. And so that's just like a good thing to do. So tire and rubber cleaner. This is our favorite to use for engines. So
Versus someone
versus
said
like
citrus degreaser.
yeah, versus like so with your engine, you don't get as much like oil, I would say. You know, like it's more dirty. Like if you have oil in your engine, there's probably a problem with your engine, you know. So
Or maybe old, a little bit older, maybe.
or a little bit older, yeah. But generally, it's not as much grease that's in here, you know. And the tire and rubber cleaner does a great job at cleaning that, anyways. But the thing about tire and rubber cleaner is that the surfactant in here that allows it to make the plastic and rubber more black will just make the point when you dress it, make it look even that much better. So same idea with your tires. Like your tires, once you clean them with tire and rubber cleaner, they look, you know, very, very black in appearance. And so once you put the dressing on, it just looks that much better. So that's why I like to use tire and rubber cleaner. So I'll set this here for now. So the first tool I like to use, I have 3 tools with me, all wheel cleaning tools. I have a trim and lug nut brush, an angled wheel brush, and the wheel face brush. I like to start with the wheel face brush. Super soft nylon bristles, and I like to just go over the super broad surfaces. Like I'm just trying to get as much of this clean as possible. Another thing I would say is if you do have, you know, exposed electrical, having a tool like an Air Cannon or Air Cannon Junior is a huge benefit, because you'll see once we're done rinsing this off, we can blow the water out of all the nooks and crannies to really get all of the water out of all the areas that needs it, that where we don't want it to be, you know. So right now, just focusing on the broad surfaces. Like so. And then it's a little warm out today, so it's like drying pretty quick. So I'll just throw another blast of tire and rubber cleaner on. And just by the way, I'm very conscious. I know I say blast a lot. Okay, I know there's like some videos where the guy says, all right, it's a drinky game. Every time that he says blast, you know, take a drink, and then you're gonna be blasted after. So now I took my trim and lug nut brush, and now I'm essentially trying to get the areas that I couldn't get with the wheel face brush. So get down in here, over here. Anybody comment what they want to see us dress it with, Kai?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, just put in the comments what you guys want to see us dress this with, because I have...
What are the options?
There's either VRT and in and out spray, which is like the OG, like that's like how I learned how to do it. And then there's also graphene ceramic spray coating advanced. So graphene ceramic spray coating advanced is going to make it look really good, but it's also going to protect it. So just put in the comments what you guys are wanting to see. And
This one said graphene.
graphene, okay.
We need a couple more votes.
This thing's crazy. I mean, it's like a import from Japan, and it has a small block V8 in it. Essentially it has like the same V8 that the OG Tundra's had in it.
It's such a nice, surprising engine for a
Yeah.
Toyota.
It's a really cool car, to be honest with you. Okay, like that. And then I don't think I would...
Coating.
Another for spray? Okay. Another tool that I like to have is like the angled wheel brush, because I don't think I need to do it all that bad with this car, but I can really like get this into areas where, you know, the trim and lug nut brush it's like more focused at the end. This one, you know, you can fit the bristles like into the side like this. So sometimes I like to have this with me to kind of get some of these areas that you can't get with some of the other stuff. And you don't use it all that much, but that's about it. So, all right, so tire and rubber cleaner, boom. 3 different wheel cleaning tools. Pressure washer, the number one most important. So now we can rinse this off. So I'm gonna turn this back to vertical. And now with this, you know, I'm not trying to get as much dirt and grime off of this. So I don't need to get super close. I'm gonna be a little bit further back and use the mist to really get the product and everything off. And again, over the battery area, just like a quick swipe to get stuff off. Same with that electric traction control, just like a quick couple swipes like that. Okay, then we'll come on this side.
Thoughts on how to clean the area between a canopy and cab?
Yeah, so like probably like
Canopy.
canopy, they might even be referring to like a tent topper type of thing. Oh no, they're talking about like the rear. Yeah, that's a good question. Canopy, like the almost like a camper shell for a truck, and then like where the cab is, where the back window is usually. You know, the ultimate way to do it is to take the shell off first. That's like probably the best way to do it. I mean, realistically, when I think about it, that's about the only way to do it. Because
Perfectly.
yeah, to do it like the right way. And the only reason I say that is because, you know, you're going to, we don't really have tools that like fit in that small, tight of an area, you know. You might be able to like use some of our wheel cleaning tools, but I just don't recommend using wheel cleaning tools on on paint like that, especially, I mean, not to say that you're going to hit the paint, but yeah, I would just say I'd recommend like maybe, you know, you don't have to do it that often because it's not going to get too dirty, because it's not as exposed as like your paint and everything else. So, you know, maybe like every 6 months or once a year, like pull it off, set it off to the side, you know, maybe like commission your buddy with pizza and beer or whatever, soda, if you don't drink, to help you do it, you know, when you're doing like a big washing.
Does it matter if the engine's cool?
Oh yeah, it's actually, I'm glad somebody said that. Yes, your engine should be pretty cool to the touch. So I just know with this car, this hadn't been driven. I mean, it's been sitting outside parked, essentially.
Sun heat is fine.
Yeah, sun heat's fine, but like you don't want to go for a long drive, or say you're on a road trip, and just like after you're done driving, like pull it in and start cleaning it right away. You know?
Like washing a pan.
Yeah, you don't want to spray this on here and steam starts coming off of it. You know? Yeah, just like a pan. See, Kai's a chef, so. Okay, so we're all rinsed off. Now I'm gonna take the Air Cannon Mini, and I just plugged it in. But this is a really cool tool because super powerful, focused tip for more focused air. And then down here, sometimes I can get this off, sometimes I can't. But it has filters in it. Okay, so if we're dealing with, you know, like right now there's a ton of pollen in the air, so having a filter is not going to blast dust and dirt onto the surface and then mix with the water and then make it dirty
And the
again.
air's
So
coming in through.
yeah, it's pulling straight. This is like your air filter here, and then it comes out over here. So with this, we can use this to get as much water off of this as possible. And like I said before, like really, like when you're doing this more along the line of the washing process. So, you know, at this point, like when I'm done rinsing this off, then I would just close the hood. I'd wash the rest of the car. Then when I pull it in to dry it, the engine would almost be dry at that point. If it wasn't, then I would use the same tool, or like your standard air cannon. You can use that as well. But especially because we're going to be protecting this with the graphene spray coating, I want all the water off of this as best as possible, because I don't want the water to mix with the ceramic as I'm applying it. So and in all the places that I have a feeling like there's electrical connections, really like focus on those areas quite a bit. Also, just a quick tip, like when you're using this, even if you're using the pressure washer or like an air cannon with the hose, use your other hand to hold the cord or the hose away from the car. So I don't want to leave this like this and be like dragging this along the paint, because all this is going to do is scratch, and then you need to fix that. So always, you can either like run it over your shoulder like this. I tend to just kind of hold it out here so I don't drag the cord along the paint. pretty much there. And I think one thing Adam mentioned in the engine cleaning video I thought was kind of cool is like, you know, I think some people be like, why would you even clean your engine? Like you never see it or anything like that. But, you know, again, I think it gets into the pride of ownership. And also, like Adam brought up a good point that like, if you have a clean engine and you take it to the shop and they're doing an oil change or whatever, and they open this hood and this looks immaculate, they know how much you care for your car. So like they're also gonna give it care like you give it. So you know, if this was just like all junky and nasty, you know, you might a person working in the shop might just be like, yeah, whatever, who cares, you know. So and also, you know, I think when we talk about car care, you know, we're talking about the whole car, you know. So that's not just like having perfectly polished paint. That's having nice, clean, ceramic coated wheels, having a clean engine, everything, you know. So just like a little bit of food for thought on that. I think sometimes it can get overlooked. So
for people who just joined, what do we use?
Yeah, well, so people who just joined, we used tire and rubber cleaner as the cleaning agent. We used 3 of our wheel cleaning tools: the angled wheel brush, the trim and lug nut brush, and the wheel face brush. And the number 1 most important tool we used was the pressure washer. So it's the most important because it uses such a little bit amount of water as far as you know, instead of using a garden hose. I think like a garden hose is something like 10-20 gallons per minute, whereas a pressure washer, ours is 1.8 gallons per minute. So you can really like quantify how little amount of water that you're using, you know. And when you're moving it around fast, and like being thoughtful with how you're spraying it, that even makes it that much more safe. So so all I'm doing right now is I took a single soft microfiber towel because it's sitting on this cart here that I have that I'm using for detailing the car. And before I let this hard water just bake in the sun and cause water spots, I'm taking detail spray and I'm just wiping them off, because water spot etching happens over time. So the sooner you address it, the less likely is they're going to turn to scale or they're going to etch. So, so the faster I get to this with my detail spray, waterless wash, whatever it may be, I would not recommend using like a protection type of spray like Slick and Slide or Graphene CS3 or even regular CS3
for the window.
For any of it. Like, I'm mainly using detail spray because it has a lot of lubrication to this product, you know. So
it's just kind of a time fix right now.
Yeah, like I'm essentially reducing the amount of work that I'm gonna have here down the road, because I'm not gonna let these water spots dry on the surface and cause more work later, where I probably end up having to like polish the car to remove the water spots, versus now I'm just kind of doing a quick, I mean, the glass isn't even perfect, which I'm okay with. I know that the water spots aren't going to develop now. So that's the main reason why I'm doing this right now. But again, like when you're getting into this whole process, like at this point, you would most likely be just washing the car, you know. So this isn't necessarily something you'd have to worry about, but because we're doing the live and it's just cleaning the engine bay, you know, I want to, and especially because I'm detailing this car, I don't want to, you know, he's picking up tomorrow morning. So what I don't want to do is have water spots dry on the surface and then I have to go back and do more work for myself, because I've already polished about 80% of this whole car. So that's why I just did that really quick. So, okay, so now at this point, with the engine dry like this, you would get into dressing it or protecting it. So like I said before, one way to do it, this is the absolute original way, is by using a mixture of these products. they essentially provide the same look, a rich dark in color on like black plastic, but a matte finish. It's not shiny at all. So VRT is a cream product that you put onto an applicator, wipe it on, and then In and Out spray is a aerosol product like this. Okay, and this makes black plastic look amazing. I don't know if I have any good like look at this hose right here, Kai. So In and Out spray, just by spraying it on, gives it like a nice look. And because it's an aerosol, it can get into areas that you can't get with VRT in a big applicator. So generally when you work with those products, you would use VRT first. And well, actually, I would do In and Out spray first. And I would just focus on the areas I couldn't get with the applicator, like the accordion hose here, some of the grooved designed plastic pieces. I would use In and Out spray and go through and spray it all down. And then I would leave these broad surfaces, okay? And then once I'm done using In and Out spray, then I would switch to VRT and then I would apply it and I would even everything out and it would look perfect. So that's how you do that process. But today, it has been requested.
Did you do In and Out and that?
No, because you want the base layer to be ceramic. So, I mean, if you want, I could show them once. Do they want to see it, or?
No, I was just curious.
Yeah.
So that you could get the sauce, because you're probably not going to reach.
Well, and I think that's one of the cool things about the spray coating is that
Oh yeah, I guess
it's a spray. So
Yeah.
like I can get this kind of everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'll spray this onto the engine first, and I'll mainly focus a mist onto like the accordion hoses and the groove plastic and things. And then I won't be spraying it on the big broad surfaces, because then I'll spray it into the applicator and then I'll even everything out. So the way you do this is first turn the sprayer on, okay? And I'm gonna pull the trigger hard so it atomizes and spreads. So, and I'm gonna move my hand as I do it. So it's kind of like,
once the engine is clean, can you just use tire and rubber cleaner and a towel to touch it up?
yeah, I think for the most part. But you know, once your engine's clean, like the doing it during the washing process is just that it's a very simple and easy way to do it. So, you know, generally when your engine's clean, like maybe if you're gonna go to a car show or something, then you could just use tire and rubber cleaner and like an edgeless utility towel. That's our interior towel.
I can see the purple.
Yeah, the UV, huh?
Look at this hole.
Not cool. So our ceramic, all of our ceramic coatings have a UV tracer in it. And the UV tracer, essentially, when it's exposed to UV light, it turns blue. And you know, our graphene ceramic spray coating kit, or not the spray coating kit, but the advanced kit, you can have an option to get a UV light with it, like a black light. And so you could like turn all the lights off in your garage when you're gonna coat your car, use a UV light, and you can see exactly where the coating goes onto the surface, which is really, really cool.
Can you see that?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. It reacts to the UV of the sun when it's like in excess, but after you wipe it on, it will, you won't see it. So like right here, you can see
where
it.
you level it.
Yep, see it right here? So when I wipe the excess, then it goes to black.
So you know what you wiped, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just taking the applicator and I'm trying to level off the areas that I maybe sprayed too much or that is kind of pooling. This. Okay. This is personally like doing the spray coating treatment on an engine is one of my favorite things, because the next time you come to clean this, the water is going to beat up like crazy and it's going to make cleaning it like 1,000% easier. So this is something I really like to do on my own personal vehicles, but also cars, maybe I have like some detailing like clients that I clean their cars, I always do this the first time I get their car, because every time I do a detail job, I always clean the engine every single time. It's such an easy process along the way that that once I spray coat it, it makes the cleaning the engine even that much easier. So I'm getting the wiper blades as well. Just trying to even this all out the best I can. The nice thing is too, this guy was like, yeah, don't worry about cleaning my engine. The only time I open the hood is when I'm working on the engine. But I bet you now he's gonna open the hood more because this
looks nice.
It like transformed this thing. It looks so good.
I've always wondered too, like what, I know this is probably pretty tough to figure out.
Like I think this is like magnesium.
Yeah.
So this like discoloration, I think more comes from like heat and just over time.
So there's not much you can.
So yeah, I mean, my 4Runner has some of that on there, and I definitely I can't clean that off. So.
Yeah. NHL playoff.
Yeah, I watched. Well, I don't necessarily follow like the NHL that close, but I do live in Colorado, so I have to root for the Avs, Avalanche are iconic, dude. They haven't been like amazing for an extended period of time, but they've had some success in the past and in recent years. So, it's interesting, like Colorado, if you don't live in Colorado, you realize really quick that it is definitely like a hockey town. They have like a lot of facilities, and I even think that some of the Arvada teams and some of the teams in like Highlands Ranch even have had a lot of success in like junior hockey. So a lot of like really passionate hockey fans out here, which I think is like really cool. I'm very much this is like my dad era showing, but I'm very much like a golf fan and as well as a baseball fan. I grew up playing baseball. I played a couple years in college, and so I really have a pretty good understanding of like the ins and outs of how the game works. So, and not to burst anybody's bubble, but I am a San Francisco Giants fan because I grew up in Northern California. That's where I was born and raised, about 6 hours north of San Francisco in the Redwood Forest. Really, really amazing area. When you live there, you don't really like, unfortunately, you don't take advantage of all the amazing places. Like field trips for me when I was growing up was like in the old growth redwood with 300-foot tall trees right on the coast. So pretty unique area to grow up, but very thankful of where I come from. But yeah, that's why I'm a Giants fan. So I grew up watching Will Clark, Robbie Thompson, Matt Williams, Bud Black, which Bud Black was the coach for the Rockies for a few years. But yeah, I'm a little bit more of a baseball and golf fan. By the way, golf, we have one of the best runs in golf right now with Scotty Scheffler, Texas-bred boy. I think he's won 5 tournaments out of his last 6 starts, which is pretty incredible. Just won the Masters tournament, that's like my Super Bowl every year. I love watching the Masters. But yeah, so now what I'm doing is we have this kind of weird thing with our spray coating. Like if you spray this on here really thick and heavy and then you just leave it, sometimes that excess will cure and it will cause like a chalkiness to it. You know, and especially like if you don't clean the plastic first. So what I like to do after I'm done using the spray coating, like evening it out, spraying it on, you know, applying it, even when I'm doing the more exterior part of the car, like if I do the paint and the plastic and rubber, I still go back through and wipe off the excess of the coating. On all the surfaces I put it on. What do you guys think? Does it look okay? I mean, from where we started to where it is now, I'm like,
Yeah, it looks crazy.
I'm like very happy with it. You know, and the coating going on is like, it's very much like made the black plastic just look that much better. So
Yeah,
it's almost looking
it's
new
nice.
again.
Everyone's selling sports.
Oh yeah? What are people saying?
Just their team.
I will say this though, like,
Huge improvement on the engine.
yeah. I will say this though, sports wise, like in baseball, one team I really like, they're probably like my third or fourth favorite team, is the Philadelphia Phillies. So anybody that's on the East Coast, the Phillies, their organization is so awesome. And I love Bryce Harper. I couldn't stand Bryce Harper when he first came into the league. God, he was so arrogant. I could not handle it. And he expected everything. But as he's matured into these like recent years, man, the guy just can't miss, dude. And that guy is a beast in the playoffs. So I love watching him play. And you know, I'm pretty deep into baseball. Like I have a 10-year-old son, Miles, and luckily he shares the same passion about sports and especially baseball. So I'm one of the coaches for his little league team. So I'm trying to get those kids right, you know. Haven't made a kid cry this year. That's kind of hoping not. But pushing kids to be the best version of themselves, sometimes they go through a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. So, but I love nothing more than seeing kids succeed on things that they're, you know, having adversity with. It's like the best feeling ever. So I got spray coating on some spray coating on the actual, where did I set that applicator? Could have swore I set it over here. Yeah, right here. So I got some of the spray coating on the paint. You can come see it over here. I got it like right here, and then there's a lot of it kind of in here. It might be hard to see.
Yes.
But all I'm gonna do is, spray the wrong product on there. I'll just take the spray coating like that, and it was pretty hard to wipe off right here. And I'll just go over this lightly with the spray coating like this.
So that's a good point. If you ever let your spray coating sit too long, you can use more spray coating.
Yeah, you're almost like rehydrating it, and then you don't need to wait to wipe it off. You just wipe it off right away like this. And it will, then it's just like easy to remove. So, you know, again, like one of those things of trying to reduce the amount of extra work that I have to do by just addressing these things. Because if I left it sit too long, then I would end up needing to use a little bit more aggressive method to like get that off. So I'd rather address it now than wait too long and then be causing more work for myself. So I think I even got a lot of it on here too. So I keep grabbing the wrong product, Kai. I'm so used to having stuff in my back pocket, not on my side pocket. So I'll wipe this on right here and then just wipe it straight off right away.
Want to do a little recap again?
Yeah, a little recap. So, you know, again, like one of those things of trying to reduce the amount of extra work that I have to do by just addressing these things. Because if I left it sit too long, then I would end up needing to use a little bit more aggressive method to like get that off. So I'd rather address it now than wait too long and then be causing more work for myself. So I think I even got a lot of it on here too. So I will see you guys This 1998 Toyota Celsior, pretty cool car, import from straight from Japan, so right-hand drive. And I'm in the process of kind of detailing this car. So I was telling everybody on the live that on Sunday, the guy dropped this off to me, and he told me he has a little bit of like a battery leak, like some electrical leak somewhere. So it just drains his battery like really quick. And so I've been putting a trickle charger on this like every day to make sure it starts, because I've been pulling it in, we've been pulling it out, moving it around. And so when I opened the hood to this to put the trickle charger on, it was like one of the dirtiest engines I've seen in a long time. And if you go back to the beginning of this video, you can really see how dirty the engine was on this. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna save this for the live video, because it's a great opportunity just to show, like, even on an older car like this, 1998, you can still transform your engine, because a lot of it's just like plastic, you know? So with it being plastic, it's a lot easier to, the plastic just responds really well to tire and rubber cleaner, as well as like the spray coating especially. And we had votes on what product we wanted to use. I was potentially going to use VRT and in and out spray, but I got some votes to be able to see the spray coating on the engine bay. So essentially what we did is we transformed this engine back to closer to new. I mean, it's such an older car that it's a little bit tough to get it to 100% perfect. But the appearance of it and the presentation of it is just that much better. So I'm very happy with it. It looks really good. And I think, like, if anybody's, especially like Anton's usually on here for the whole thing, like Anton, you can vouch for me on the way this looked when we started, because it really did kind of start nasty and dirty and came back to life. So there you go, cleaning engine bays, protecting them with spray coating. So essentially cleaning the engine bay, we use a pressure washer, which is by far the most important tool, because you use a lot less water. And so just an initial rinse of it. And another thing we talked about were different components that you need to cover before you start rinsing it off. So an exposed air filter, which this doesn't have, exposed electrical. You want to cover those with plastic. You could use like saran wrap, or even like something like this, you know, like if you have a bag from your towels, you can like cut this up, you know, use tape if you want, but like if you had an exposed air filter, like you could put this around the air filter, stuff like that. So covering up any exposed electrical, which modern engines don't really have that. They're mostly watertight as far as electrical connections and things like that. This is a 98, so a little bit more advanced as far as that kind of technology. So I didn't cover anything up. Quick blast of water, and then use tire and rubber cleaner as the cleaning agent, and then some of our wheel cleaning tools like the wheel face brush, trim and lug nut brush. And then once we were done with that, then we grabbed our air cannon mini, which is the handheld air cannon, and got all the water off of it, dried it pretty much 100%. And then after that, we took our spray coating. I sprayed it like mainly into areas like this accordion hose, the groove plastic, down into the engine bay down here. And then after I was done spraying those areas, then I sprayed it into the gray microfiber applicator, one of these guys, and then put it on all the broad surfaces of the plastic and engine bay, and then leveled it off with a single stop microfiber towel, like the plush towel. So there you go. Pretty simple. I mean, I would say like this engine, pretty straightforward, but it took a little bit more effort. I actually sprayed tire and rubber cleaner a couple extra times to try to get a little bit more clean than I could. So, I think generally, like, again, like this process is a part of your washing process. And I tend to do this every time I get my oil change. So about every 5,000 miles, I would say, is like a good gauge. It's kind of like in my mind, a part of my routine that like I take my car to get the oil changed. And then when I get it back, I clean the engine thoroughly. Right. And then so that's just kind of my routine like that. And again, like the way you do this process is you clean the wheels and tires first individually. So start here, clean this wheel in its entirety, do that one, do that one, do that one. And then once you're done cleaning the wheels, pop the hood open, clean the engine bay. Then once you're done cleaning the engine bay, you don't have to dry it. I mean, if you have exposed electrical, I would recommend blowing the water out of there first. So having your air cannon or whatever next to you, blow the excess water out, close the engine, clean the exhaust tips if you need to, and then fully wash the rest of the car. Then when you pull it inside to dry it, your engine's pretty much going to be dry at that point, and then you can either dress it or protect it. So one thing I will say is I protected it with the graphene spray coating advanced. So right now it's just like I have a good foundation of protection on here. The next time I may not need to do this. This isn't as much of a dressing as it is a protection agent. And so the next time I come back to clean this, if he brings it to me again, I'll just do the VRT and in and out spray treatment to dress it, meaning it's like you're putting like lipstick on, like you're putting a look to it. You're adding a richness to all the plastic and everything, but getting the foundation of spray coating on there is key to make cleaning it easier the next time. So yeah, that's cleaning engine bays, and especially on like an older engine bay. I mean, I think this thing came out really good. I'm very happy with it. And hopefully the guy, next time he goes to work on his car, he pops the hood and he's like, whoa, what the heck? It's like someone put a brand new engine in there. So yeah, any questions? And then just a reminder while you guys, if there's any questions, just a reminder that you can see all the pallets back here. We have our annual in-person tent sale going on here in Colorado this weekend. So I think it's Saturday. Do you know the times, Kai? I'm not sure of the time exactly. You can go on our website to our events page and you can see it there. I'm sure it's on our Facebook events as well. So double check the time. But like I was saying, generally the annual tent sale is a blowout. So we'll have people lined up down the street. So get here early if you're going to come. Really, really great deals on a lot of different stuff. So like you can see, like 5 gallons of iron remover. You have pressure washers. You have things like wheel and tire cleaner that maybe didn't make the cut. You have, what else we got in here? This is like the really junky stuff. Some slick and slide with a bunch of soap all over it. So like that's the kind of thing, like we can't send this out to our customer. And I imagine this is like a return from a FedEx damage package where this was like in a box with car shampoo and the car shampoo exploded, got all over this, and then they're like, what the heck? So they send the package back, we get it back, and instead of just throwing it out, we'll discount it like this could be $5 maybe. Dollar. And then it has soap on it. So you know what you do? You buy this, take it home, wash it off, and now you have a perfectly brand new bottle of Slick and Slide, you know?
Probably buy a foam cannon to rinse it off.
Yeah, here you go. Here's a foam cannon sitting over here. We got the thing we used on the engine, little air cannon mini. What's in here? Hand soap, coconut flavor. We got limited bottles from the Shine Fest. A swivel gun if you want a better swivel gun for your pressure washer. Wheel cleaning tools, angled wheel brush, fender brush, UV light if you want to use that for coating your car. Look at this. As much car shampoo as you could get for a very little amount of money. So even like home care kits, if you want to get into cleaning your house too instead of your car. But yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff. So you can see, like, listen, I think there's even times people have come here expecting to get one thing and they get like 5 other things that they were just like, oh, wow, I didn't know that was going to be there. So
Jose said motorcycle cleaning on the live, maybe one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, maybe we'll queue up a motorcycle cleaning video.
Detailing.
Yeah, that's like pretty easy. I mean, for the most part, it's like just cleaning it. But there's some products that we have, like Brewing Glaze is an amazing product for motorcycles. So maybe I'll have Kane bring his Harley here, and I don't know if we have anybody else that has more of a street bike.
Charlie?
Maybe Charlie. I don't know if they still have that or not, but if they have it, then we'll get both styles of motorcycles here. Street bike and then more of like your hog, like a Harley.
Chopper.
Yeah, chopper, hog, obnoxiously loud motorcycle, you know. But yeah, maybe we could do those simultaneously so you can see. You know, the thing about street bikes is you have more plastic and painted things, whereas like a Harley, you have more painted and chrome. So once you get them cleaned, it's like more of the process after that to get them nice and shiny is a little bit different. So we can kind of show that. But I hope today was helpful with cleaning engine bays. I know we've done it before, but it's just a great opportunity to do it on this car. So yeah, if you have questions, just hit us up, 866-965-0400. I've been getting some emails from you guys, so joe@adamspolishes.com. So get some detailing questions here and there, and hopefully they're helpful for those people that have been emailing me. Been emailing with Anton. So there you go. Thank you guys for watching. Next week we're doing interior. So if you go back, once this video ends, it gets posted to our YouTube. So if you go to our YouTube channel page, on the top there's a few tabs. I think it's video, shorts, and then live. If you click that live tab, it has every live we've ever done on YouTube. So the very top one would be this video. Throw a comment on there that says, I want to see leather cleaning and conditioning, or I want to see cloth interior. I want to see the fastest interior detail you can do, whatever you want. White Tesla, fake leather, if you want to see that too. Put a comment in there and then we'll talk about that. We could even talk about polishing on interiors too. So some interiors have piano black, and we can actually use our Adams Polishes micro polisher to really polish that back to perfection, and then you can even ceramic coat over that. So we can talk about stuff like that too. So hit us up in the comment section. Make sure to spread the word on the live. If we hit 300 streamers in one session, we're going to do a big giveaway. So keep that in mind. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week.